his diet. And I want to say his diet was so very important to fuel his large physique. And he had a transition. I'm going to talk about his former diet, and then I'll talk about the transitional diet. Well, his former diet, and back in the day when he was young and he had this massive physique, it was truly for you to eat red meat and whole eggs and milk. And that was a large part of his diet. And so in the mornings, he would have scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, 3 to 4 eggs again. And sometimes he would have a tomato with that. And then later on, he would have steak and vegetables. Again, he's fueling this physique, and that's what he believed. And then later he may have some grilled lean meat. So in a nutshell, that was his diet, and that was the base of his diet, always coupled with these protein shakes.
A little banana, and as quick as possible into the bloodstream. You're right, a little schnapps.
So his motto was, for every pound of weight, you need 1 pound of protein. His former diet, he was eating 5 meals a day to get it all in, because he didn't like to eat a whole lot of food at one time.
It worked best when I had 5 meals a day. There's some people that can work with 3 meals. For me, 5.
So after he's having these surgeries, he started to make this transition and following the advice of his doctor. Now, he's getting older and he's starting to have some health issues. And let me just say this, there were some genetic problems that he had. He had bicuspid aortic valve issue. He has 2 flaps called cusp instead of 3. And so this issue can cause the valve opening to become narrowed or blocked. So he had several open heart surgeries. He had one in 1997. He had 2 open heart surgeries. In 2018, he had an open heart surgery. In 2020, he had an open heart surgery.
You live longer and healthier if you're lean. Like I eat only 2 meals a day.
So he started slacking off of all of this heavy, intense workouts and heavy weightlifting. He's doing lighter weights and more repetitions and making this transition in his diet. So the latter part, he's gone from 5 meals a day to about 2 meals a day, and he's focusing more on a plant-based diet. But he's not a vegetarian, but more on a plant-based diet. So he's eating more greens and vegetables. Breakfast now, instead of sausage and bacon and all of that, he's having oatmeal. So that was a major transition in his diet. He's including more greens and vegetables in his diet. Watermelon. He's still doing that protein shake, but instead of with the cow's milk, he's substituting with almond milks. And the things that he definitely avoids is sugar and white breads, and definitely no cow's milk. And he reduced his amount of red meat intake. I would want to say this to Arnold. I like that you're leaning more toward a plant-based diet, because that's what I promote. I think that's wonderful, particularly with some of your health issues. And I would add, Arnold, no red meat. You know, let's come up with some other substitutes for the meat, but no red meat, particularly with the surgeries that you've had. I would also say, I would have a concern with that raw egg in the morning, because you run the risk of salmonella and with that raw egg. And so I would be concerned about that. And so I would say cook those egg whites, not the whole egg, but egg whites. Cook it and then blend it in the mixer with the other things that you like to include, and leave the yolk out. In your raw egg whites, you have a substance called avidin that will bind with the biotin, which is a B vitamin, and making it, you're not going to be absorbing it because it's bound to another component. And biotin is necessary to help metabolize your carbohydrates, fats, amino acids, and are the building blocks of protein. And I definitely would say, Arnold, we can leave out let's go with that cherry juice. Let's leave out the tequila. And I'm glad he's made some of those transitions. Well, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger's amazing diet. And I wanted to share it with you because he's an amazing man. And I definitely do admire him. Well, I'm Das. I'm out, but I definitely want you to join me next show.